Okay. Okay, I think I'm here. I'm never quite sure because it doesn't say you are now streaming to YouTube like it does with Facebook. It just says, oh yeah, I guess it does sort of say that. Okay, I'm here. Look a little wild and woolly. I know, but you want to keep it real. I want to keep it real. So here we are. Um, as promised, I'm back downstairs in my studio. You can see it behind me. All right, my good friend Sabina, if you're watching, thank you so much yesterday for your several hours of help to get started with organizing and unpacking. It's going to take me a while to get that done. And I have cords everywhere. All right, because I've moved. So if you look that way, I can't get my finger to go right there. Okay, that's where I used to have my computer. My workstation was there. And I decided, since the lighting was so much better over there, that I wanted that to be the customer area, the work area. So so that's what I did, and I got new tables. So yay, and new floor. All the walls are repainted. The ceiling's redone. And so now, as soon as I unpack the right file folders, then the blinds will get replaced and the chair will get cleaned because those were all damaged in the flood. The TV that you see behind me over that shoulder right there. Oh my God, I'm so horribly directionally challenged. That is going to go up on the wall. So it's going to be higher, probably about 8 inches higher. I think that's where I want to go with it. So it will be much easier to watch my classes. And it will be a lot better when we have our dinner and movie crop nights. Okay, so stay tuned for more updates. And and the other thing is I'm having new lighting put in at this end of the room. So in order to get the ceiling finished, we had to take the old lights out because we didn't want, how it's sort of flat there, and now it's a popcorn ceiling, right? So we wanted all of that to be nice. And so we took the lighting out. And so now I have very little lighting in this corner. So I have, like you can see the light there, got. Then I've got another one here, and I've got another one here. So hopefully that will work for us tonight. All right. I'm just going to, all right. So YouTube's a little bit deeper, a little different. I was just looking at my title here for tonight. Deep dive into CM border punches. So, yeah, how they show the live is a little different. So it's just, yeah, I'm not quite used to it yet. Anyhow, what I want to do is come back to Zoom. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to switch my camera over. Okay, and then we'll get started. Okay, and next time you see this, hopefully you won't see boxes. Fingers crossed, right? Okay, here we go. So like I said, I apologize that lighting is not that terrific. And it's probably, this thing is crooked again. Okay, in the move, I sort of have lost track of where the screw is to screw down the video camera so it doesn't wobble. And so I know I'll find it. It's in here somewhere. Oh, okay, deep breath. All right, today I want to talk to you about creative memories, corner punch, not corner punches. Oh, who knows what's going to come out of my mouth today. What are these? Border punches. And I want to put a plug in before we get started on this little baby. All right, this is amazing. Okay, I have an envelope maker already. Okay, it's one of the original ones. I think it's We Are Memory Keepers, or memory makers or whatever they call them. But I got this one because it also has a bow maker on it. All right, so this is going to be the centerpiece to my next beginner class. Now remember, beginner means I'm just talking about something new, probably new to you, possibly new to me. So this is not, the beginner part is not about your paper crafting skills. If it is, I will tell you that. It'll be more in the line of a technique class or something like that. But for these things, it's definitely beginner, right? Because I have never used this particular envelope maker, and I've only used this bow maker once just to do one. So stay tuned. It will be on again. I'll go back to my regular Wednesday nights, and it will be in 2 weeks from last Wednesday. I want to get back on schedule. So just let me check here because I forgot to write the date down. All right, where are we on our calendar here? So that will be, oh, that's interesting. So it will be January 1st. Let's make it January 2nd. And then the next one will go back to the Wednesday night, because I like the Wednesday night. Sort of something to get you over the middle of the week kind of thing. All right, so you watch for the notifications for this event. It's going to be January 2nd, Thursday, 2025. Huh. All right, envelope creator, bow maker. Enough said about that. All right, so I have brought together here a bunch of scraps. I've got white, which is my friend when I'm creating my borders. And then I've picked out a variety of interesting types of paper. These are pretty heavy cardstock. All right, cardstock weight is what I meant. This is something a little lighter. It's a type of shimmer paper. It is not Creative Memories. Okay, and then I've got some regular cardstock here. I've got a bit thicker cardstock, and I've got some Creative Memories cardstock here. All right, so this is how things are going to go. I'm going to show you my samples, and then I want to show you one. Now, this one I did not have a chance to play with this one because it just arrived, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to delay, because this punch was in the box coming in my order, and it was very late. All right, I'm pretty sure it was because of the postal strike. UPS was holding my order in Winnipeg. So it was there for a long time. I ordered this stuff on December 4th, and it just came just last week, the end of last week. All right, and it's the Mountain Range punch. Okay, so we're going to play with that. And then I love this little baby, which is the Ticket Punch. Okay, and I'm hoping I'll have time to show you just a little bit about that. But in the meantime, so we want to talk about border punches. The first thing I want to make sure that you understand is that there are border punches and there are border maker cartridges. Not the same. They look the same when they're finished, but how you get to the finished product is way different. The border punches are all self-sustaining. They don't need any other pieces or parts. All you need to do is add paper. The border maker cartridges need to have the system, all right, because the cartridge is only one piece of 3 parts to the system. Okay, so they're entirely different to use, and I will talk about that more in depth going forward at some point. I also wanted to tell you that I did a short border punch beginner class right when I started with Creative Memories, so last spring sometime. Okay, and in that video, I showed you samples of different ways I've used the border punches and borders in my scrapbooking. So Creative Memories is really into borders. You get the border punches, you got the border maker cartridge, and then you also have laser cut borders that come as embellishments. Then there's also border stickers. So they really like borders, And I just wanted to give you a few ideas. I will link that in the description, that video, so that you can go back and look at that. I tried to find the albums that those particular layouts are in, but I couldn't find the box they're in. So yeah, we'll have to do without that for tonight. Okay, so that's the difference between the two different border punches. I'm not used to this paper. I usually have the dark paper, but I decided it was time for change. All right, so these border punches are usually $31.50. All right, they were on sale for a while, some of the older ones, but that's usually the price you'll pay. The Border Maker cartridges are $21 each, just for the cartridge. And then they also have standalone images, like Christmas light bulbs and birds and bells and you name it, sea turtles. All right, so I want to show you a few borders that I have created. There just seems to be a little dark spot there. Not quite sure why. Okay, I just want to check. Okay. Okay, so first off, I'll show you the trees. Okay, so here are two separate tree borders that I created. Now this one is, I punched it out 3 times. All right, and it's so easy. I will show you with a couple little tricks. Okay, so I punched it out using that light green paper. Then I also punched it out using a darker green paper. I hope you can see that in the background there. And then I punched out a strip on white cardstock. And when I attached them together, I just slid over the background just a little bit. So it looks like it's in shadow. All right. So then once I was done that, then I just cut apart the treetops from the white one, the white strip that I had punched, and then I glued them on just to give some snow. Cool, right? So that's one thing you can do. Now this one was even simpler than that. I found 3 different plaids that I really, really liked. So at the back here, you've got the buffalo plaid. It's just black and red. You can see there. Well, maybe you can't. There. Yeah, it's totally dark up there. Remember that. Okay. And then this one was a bit different. It was brighter and it had small stripes in it and whatnot. I hope you can see that. Okay, and then the top one was a combination, sort of. It was green, red, white, and a bit of black. All right, and then what I did was when I cut the border, which I will show you in a minute, I left a little bit of extra on all of them so that I could stagger them. And then after I had them put together, then I just trimmed them all as one piece so that the bottom edge was the same for all of them. Now on this one, I actually used some foam tape. How can I make this better here? Just don't know about this light here. It's not doing what I want it to do. Okay, that might be better. We got a big shadow, but at least you can see these better. Okay, so I used foam tape to attach the back piece, which you'll notice I used the darkest paper at the very back, and that's to give it a little bit of shadow. Very easy to create, very. Okay, here's one that took a little bit more time. So this was the truck, obviously. And this one I had to cut out 4 layers. So I always start with my white base, all right, and that will look like, okay, put those, where are they? I just had them. Just wanted to show you what it looks like. Okay, I guess I'll have to punch because I had cardinals to show you. Okay. Anyways, I always like to start with a base that's white. I suppose you could use black too if you wanted. Depends on what you're cutting out. Then I cut another strip in red, and then I cut another strip in black, and then I cut a strip in this wood patterned paper. All right. I also did a little bit of drawing for these, the mirrors on the trucks. I used my silver metallic marker, paint marker. And then after I cut the strips, then I just used my fussy cut scissors, which are these ones. Okay, very small pointed blade. And I cut out the pieces I wanted. So obviously the red was just the truck body. The black was for the tires, and then the wood grain patterned paper was for these little, the box sides. All right. Now, this one here, I tried an extra layer. So you can see it there. Okay, but it was going to be too much work. So I kind of gave up on the silver at the back. But it's not bad if you want to take the time to do an extra layer. I had just done so many layers already. And then what I did was you could see a little bit of the white around the tires here. It wasn't a perfect fit. So I took my black marker very badly, as you can see here. And I just went around the outside edge with that just to get everything black. All right, this probably took me about a half an hour to put to like punch out all the pieces put together. So it's not so bad, okay, but this is definitely the most complicated one. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, then this is the snow globes, and this was a special promotion that Creative Memories had on a few months ago, and it was sort of a buy get. So if you spent a certain number of dollars, I think it was $120, then you could pick one of 3 kits. And I picked the snow globe kit, and you got the pack of paper, the punch for the snow globes, and the embellishments and stickers, I think. All right, so this one I punched out too, but it wasn't, the cutting was very simple. So I cut out the main punch for snow globes in the white, and so that punches out these little shapes. You've got the sign and the tree, and then the tree and the house with snow on the top of each of them. And then what I did was I took my 1-inch circle punch, and I used not white. I used old Seabrook glitter paper from Close to My Heart, and I used the Firecracker Shiver red paper for the red. Okay, so I cut out the circles for that, and then I just glued them on the back of each of them. And then I punched out a row with this light colored wood grain, and then I just cut them apart. So very easy cutting, and glued them on for the bases. And then I went between each with my marker, and I colored it black just to give a little definition. So that one was probably maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So not quite as complicated as the truck, but that's another way you can do that. Okay, and then we have our little snowman. Okay, this is one of the new ones. I think it came in the Flurry of Fun pack. Okay, and I used again that buffalo red plaid, and I used our wave cutter. Okay, it cuts 2 different types of curves, and for the background. And then I cut out my white strip of snow people, and then I went and cut out another strip of black for the hats, and another strip of red for the hearts. I put that all together, and then I used stickles for their buttons. So the boys got dark, and the girls got purple. And then I took my markers, and I oh no, I didn't do the boys, just the girls. Okay, the girls all got colored mittens. And then I went ahead and I drew not faces, just mouths on the ladies, because they look kind of weird just with eyes. Just my opinion. All right, so that one only took me 15 minutes, I would say. Okay. All right, so what I want to do right now is I want to just show you the ins and outs of using these punches. So they lock and unlock with this button right here. Okay, it's spring loaded. All right, so to lock it, you just close it up like a clamshell. And while you've got it pushed together, you just push that over to the side. All right, and then to unlock, just in reverse, and that's it. I would not leave these open when you store them. All right, I would definitely lock them up. All right, so with these border punches, you'll see they come with a small section of what the punch looks like. Okay, and then there's a deck here. This is actually the front of the punch. Okay, you can see the deck here and here. Okay, and it has the same design on it as what you're punching. All right, and then on the front, the very front, you'll see these two black lines, and those are to line you up at the beginning. All right, so I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to grab just a piece of what here? I think I want to try some cardstock. Okay, I just want to show you the whole idea with this, with these lines. Let me get, oops, sorry. Just a little closer. Okay, so if you're going to go in this direction, all right, so it's sort of multi-directional. Okay, you can start at this end, so the right end of the paper, and what you want to do is line up the edge of your cardstock with that line, and then punch. Okay, or you can start at this end, on the left end, and line it up with that mark. Okay, it doesn't matter which end you start with. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to line that up. You can't see the line, but I'm lining it up. Okay, now I have my finger here. And what I'm doing with that is I'm sort of pushing the paper up so that I remember that it needs to stay flush with that little edge right there. Okay, so now I'm going to punch, and I don't know if it's going to shake the table or not. But you see how quickly that is and how easily it punches. Now I'm sliding it through. Just take that little end off. And as I'm sliding it through, you'll see that it actually is the same as the pattern on this side. I hope you can see that. Over here just a little. So there's the pattern that's drawn for you. You want to slide this out until this is matching exactly. You won't see any blue from the part underneath. Okay, and so I'm going to line that up. Now I want you just to notice over here that I still have my finger there. Okay, and I'm just pushing that up against that edge. All right, so this is lined up so I don't see any blue, and I'm pushing my finger over here. And punch again. I'm going to keep sliding until this matches again over here. Okay, and while that's matching, I'm pushing up with my finger to make sure that's against the edge. Punch again. And you see how this is going? Oops, I'm going too far. There we go. I'm matching so that the pattern, so that no blue shows. I'm pushing with my finger here. Okay, and we're almost at the end. Okay, and there's no paper to push anymore. Okay, and there we have it. All done. So easy. And then you can decide how much of a border below that you want. Okay, so this is what's left. I like to keep my garbage can handy, and I just slide it over and then just dump all those pieces in. All right, so what I want to do, I sort of have an idea here. I want to try. Okay, so I want to use these two pieces together, and I want the mountains to be in the shadows. So I'm going to use the black for the mountains, and then I'm going to use this greenish snowflake paper, which is foiled, for the trees. All right, so I'm going to start with the black. I'm starting on the left side, so I'm lining up my line with the edge of the paper here, the end of the paper, not edge. Got my finger pushed up here. Then I'm going to do the whole sliding thing again. Match that to the pattern underneath. Push with my finger. So simple. It really, really is. And these go so fast after you've done them a little while. And I've got stuff everywhere here. So slide it all the way through because that light is right there. I don't know what's going on with my voice, but it's weird. All right, and now because there's no paper to hold here, I'm just going to hold that down just to make sure I get a nice clean cut. Okay, and so there's my shadow for the background. And just put those right into the garbage. Now, close that up. Same thing. All right, I'm going to start it off here by lining it up on the left end with the black line. Okay, and I'm going to punch. Now this is thicker paper. All right, but see how nicely that goes through? Okay, and we're going to line this up again so that no blue is showing. And then I'm going to push my finger there again. Push it through. Okay, and so the pattern is always repeating, but it's usually repeating in groups of 4. So you have 2 of one thing, then 2 of another thing, then 2, then it repeats again. All right, and you'll know you're in the right place for matching. You see, this one doesn't match. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't cover up all the blue. So that means I need to go to the next one. Okay, almost got it there. Okay, pushing up here. Now this is really heavy cardstock. I'd say this is probably 80 or 100. And you can see how nicely the punch works there. Isn't that beautiful paper? I just love that. Okay. All right, so now my idea is to do this. So I'm going to stagger it so the mountains are a little higher, like that. And then I'm going to put the trees in the front. Okay, and you'll notice I haven't cut anything yet here. So I'm just going to run, maybe. You know what, I'm just going to use my, because this is just a sample, but I'm just running it along the adhesive, along below the trees. Oops, I'm sorry. Everybody go deaf. Okay, and I'm lining up the edge on the left. Okay, and I've got the trees. I want them just a little bit lower so you can see the mountains. All right. And so now, whoa, that's pretty shiny. Grab my trimmer, I hope. Okay, where did I put it? I had it right there, ready to go. And I moved it. There it is. Phew. Okay. You know, if I wanted to use this at the bottom of a scrapbook layout, okay, I don't want it to take up all that much real estate. Okay, so I'm thinking probably 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to make it. I could go 1.5 inches, but I think this would be nicer. So 1 3/4 inches. Okay. So I'm just cutting through the whole thing. So now I've got these. This is going to be a little hard to punch because you don't have as much control over the paper, but you can still do it. Now what I have here is a very pretty border. Okay, and of course I like to do 2-page layouts, so I would do 2 of these and have these right at the bottom of my page. Isn't that pretty? I really like that. I like that mountain punch. That's going to get some use. Okay, so that's basically the punching part. Now, I wanted to just take just a minute, because my time is almost up here, to talk to you about the ticket punch. All right, this ticket punch has turned out to be a lot of fun. Now, you may have, at some time in the past, seen some videos done by Creative Memories. No, not Creative Memories. Close to My Heart Consultants. And I think one of them was Monica Hayward that did them. quite a while ago, and they were showing us how we could create these rows of tickets. Now, they had to cut the tickets themselves by hand, but with Creative Memories Ticket Punch, all right, it's really, really easy. All you do is run the paper through the machine, just like all the other ones, and then you're ready to decorate. All right, so for this one, all right, I used, let's see. So this was a Gina K stamp that I used, and it is on an angle. Not an angle. It's in a curve is what I wanted to say. So you got the trees and then the city. All right. So what I did was I sort of took it off the ticket a bit because I just wanted the tops of everything. Okay. And then I let it just do its curved thing. And I just kept repeating that all the way across. And then in a darker color, oh, and this was second generation stamping. Okay. And then in a darker color, without second generation stamping, I took the Santa from the same set with his reindeer. And I liked the fact that they were sort of curved as well. And so I just stamped them across the top. And then I took some light blue. I believe I used an old Close to My Heart color, sky blue, I think it was called. And then I took some green and some daubers, and I just daubed and swiped to get that background color. And then it needed just a little bit something more. So I took the little tiny, you can see that, man. You can see those little bundles of snow here. And I just randomly stamped them all over the place. These are so much fun. And can't you see these as a border? Like, I just love this. Okay, and then this one was an old Close to My Heart stamp set. And it was this mouse. It was a whole set of mice that were skiing or doing winter sports, actually. And I love this skiing mouse. Now, I knew he was going to be too big for this ticket. So what I did was I started here, and I just had his main body. And then I sort of went up and then back down again. Okay, I love how this turned out. So I did this on a darker cardstock. I think this is an old linen, might be mink. I can't remember now. But I stamped the mice, then I colored them with my alcohol markers. So cute. And then I used a dark green with my dauber again, and I just daubed like this. I daubed off onto another piece of paper to get rid of the most dark ink. And then up here, I used some blues. And then I took the Winter Greetings stamp that was in the set, and it was straight. And so I curved it on my block, and I just randomly stamped here. And it doesn't matter that you don't have the whole image or the sentiment either on the ends here. Okay, so another winner, I think. All right. Okay, so that is that. I'm just going to switch my camera back. Whoops, not turn it off. Can you get the wild and woolly me again? Okay, so if you watch this on replay, don't forget to tell me. You can just mention it in the comments. If you like the video or you got some good information out of it, please hit the like button and even subscribe. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel, and all the likes and the subscribes really help to get my message out there. So in the new year, I'm going to be really focusing on my YouTube videos, and I'll be doing lots of beginner classes on different things. I'll also be doing some technique classes and some process classes. All right, so I hope you're looking forward to seeing those, because I'm looking forward to doing them. And what else did I want to tell you? I wanted to tell you Merry Christmas. All right, from me and from Stephen and from Ayoka and our new little baby girl, Abilene, I wanted to wish you all a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope that you truly, truly have a blessed Christmas Day and Boxing Day or whatever, however you celebrate it with your family and your friends or on your own, because Stephen and I are going to be on our own this year. We're ready for some quiet. But I hope that you have a blessed time and that all your dreams come true. We'll be talking to